I'll call this meeting to order. This is the Standing Committee on Health, and I'm Trevor Boudreau, the MLA for Richmond Chair of the committee. Today's meeting is an agenda-setting meeting, and there is one other item on the agenda that I'd like to kind of do first so that we make sure that we kind of get that date set, if that's okay with the committee. But before we do that, I'll ask that make sure everybody's phones are put on silent, and then I'll ask committee members to introduce themselves for the record by stating their name and constituency, and I'll start over here to my left with MLA Smith.
Hello, friends. My name is Kent Smith. I am the MLA for the Eastern Shore.
Good morning. Larry Harrison, MLA for Colchester Musquodoboit Valley.
Good morning. John White, MLA for Glace Bay Dominion.
Good morning. Danielle Barkos, MLA for Chester St. Margaret's.
Good morning. Susan LeBlanc, MLA for Dartmouth North.
Hi, Gary Burrell, Halifax Chebucto.
Good morning and happy Easter. Rafa Di Costanzo, MLA Clayton Park West.
Good morning, Brendan McGuire, Halifax Atlantic.
And for the purpose of Hansard, I'll also recognize the presence of Legislative Counsel Gordon Hebb and Legislative Committee Clerk Judy Kavanaugh. So as I mentioned, there's two items on committee business today, and I'd like to start with item number 2, just so that we have that one. That was a meeting that we had scheduled for April that we postponed, and the clerk has found a potential date for that. So I'd like to kind of sort that one first, and then we'll get into the agenda setting. So the potential date for the meeting for mental health supports for First Nations communities for Thursday, June 15th. All witnesses have said they're available on this date. One witness would be available only in the afternoon. So that would be a Thursday afternoon rather than a Thursday morning. So the witnesses from the Mi'kmaq groups have said a Tuesday meeting would conflict with other regular meetings they attend and would prefer a Thursday committee meeting. And they're not available in May. It's ADM Kathleen Trott from the Office of Addictions and Mental Health who can only attend the afternoon on Thursday the 15th. So if members don't want a Thursday afternoon meeting, we could ask ADM Trott to send a staff member in her place. So I'll open the floor to kind of any discussion on that potential date and if the afternoon of a Thursday would work for people as well. MLA Di Costanzo.
I think we're okay with the afternoon for Thursday. The June 15th. The
June 15th for the afternoon?
Afternoon is fine with us.
Perfect. MLA Burrell?
No good.
You're good? So he said we're good. So it looks like by consensus we're fine for June 15th afternoon meeting. So that's great. So we've got that second item out. I don't think I need a motion for that. Everybody consensus-wise is good. So we'll now return to the agenda setting item. And so I believe all committee members have a list of the proposed topics in front of them. That's correct, yeah. And so we will end up with 6 topics, 3 PC, 2 Liberal, and 1 NDP. And so maybe before kind of any formal motions, is there any discussion from committee members on the topics or any items related to the topics? I don't see any discussion. So what we've typically done is each caucus would kind of make a motion for their committee meetings. And so I will look to committee members for MLA White.
Thank you. Chair, I move that the first topic for the PC caucus be implementations of additional mental health and addiction supports with representatives from the following facilities and witnesses: community partners and the Office of Mental Health and Addictions.
Any discussion on that motion? MLA LeBlanc.
Can we just have more clarity on what is meant by community partners?
MLA White.
So I wasn't specific with community partners because there are so many organizations out there that are involved in mental health. For example, the CISM team with the Fire Service Association. So I think we'd like to have some more conversation with the department and find out just who's involved in what areas, to be honest with you.
MLA LeBlanc.
Well, I mean, we're fine with this topic, absolutely, and we're fine with having representatives from the community, but it would be good to know in advance who the community partners are. So if there's a way to, you know, well, first of all, is this like, I guess, question is do the PC caucus want this to be the next agenda item, like for the next meeting? And if so, can we have a date by which we'll know the community partners? Or is there a way to discuss community partners over like an internet, an email poll or something like that? I mean, it feels very strange to approve a topic without knowing who the witnesses are.
MLA White?
That is totally understandable. I fully appreciate that. And it doesn't matter to me when it's on the agenda. I'm okay with it being postponed for one of the later ones as well.
MLA DiCostanzo?
Sorry, so do we wait until we know who is attending? I think that is more appropriate, that we should know who's attending before we approve a topic. But
So-
I do not want to lose the topic.
Yeah, so just to that, I think we can approve the topic, and I think what MLA LeBlanc has suggested is that we'd get kind of a list of that we're suggesting, but also if there's suggestions from others about community partners, and then we could do a poll or online to get to that point. MLA LeBlanc?
Yes, or we could have it as farther down on the agenda, and then at a future meeting, after the regular meeting happens, we could have a quick discussion about the invitees for that meeting.
So yeah, so thank you, MLA LeBlanc. We could add it kind of on the end of maybe the next agenda or the agenda item after that to have a discussion on that. Is that appropriate? Okay. So if we're comfortable approving the topic, and then we'll add that to an agenda, whether it's May or June, to have a discussion about community partners, is that fine?
Can I ask a vote?
Yep. Sorry, Clerk Kavanaugh.
So I'm just wondering, do you want me to approach the Deputy Minister and ask her for the community partners they would suggest bringing along, or is this something that the caucus wants to handle?
Good.
I'm happy to do it. I mean, I can get in touch with the deputy and ask for their suggestions.
I think why don't we start maybe with the clerk doing that, and then when we have our meeting, if others have suggestions as well, we can have that discussion then,
All right.
if that's appropriate. MLA DiCostanzo?
And if we have ideas, we can send it via email as well to the clerk.
Prior to that meeting?
Correct.
Okay,
Thank you.
perfect. So we do have a motion on the floor. Any more further discussion? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Okay, motion is carried. MLA Barkhouse.
I move that the second topic for the PC caucus be expanded scope of pharmacists with Pharmaceutical Association of Nova Scotia, PANS, and Nova Scotia College of Pharmacists as a witness.
So we have a motion on the floor. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of expanded scope of pharmacists with the witnesses provided, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion is carried. MLA Smith. MLA Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I will move on to the third topic for the PC caucus. And I'd like to move that the third topic be the investment in robotics with representatives from the Nova Scotia Health Authority and the IWUK.
All right, so do we have any discussion on this item, on this topic? Seeing none, there is a motion on the floor. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion is carried. MLA DiCostanzo.
And for the Liberals, we have our first topic, which is the EHS offload times. And we're looking to have Emergency Health Services Nova Scotia, EHS, also the Department of Health and Wellness, the Deputy Minister and appropriate staff. And third, Nova Scotia Paramedics Union, the IUOEI LOC 727. As our first topic.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor. Is there any discussion on this topic? I see no discussion.
Chair, I wonder if we can just take a 2-minute recess.
Yeah, we can take a 2-minute recess, so return at 10:12. Thank you. Order. We'll call this meeting back to order. So any discussion on the item? No? Okay. Hearing none, we have a motion on the floor. All those in favor of EHS offload times with the staffing, or the witnesses, sorry, provided, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion is carried.
The second topic.
Oh, MLA Di Costanzo.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Sorry about that. Okay, our second topic will be ER closure and doctor retention. And we are requesting Nova Scotia Health Authority, either CEO or Vice President of Medicine, Doctors Nova Scotia, the President, and the Department of Health and Wellness, the Deputy Minister, to be our witnesses.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor. Is there any discussion on this item? MLA Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We're okay with the topic. Are we just suggesting different witnesses? We think that ADM Beaton is a more appropriate witness in conjunction with Suzanne Lee.
Instead of?
Instead of the deputy.
Instead of the deputy? MLA McGuire?
So I just want to be clear, and I want this on record, the deputy minister who runs the department is not, and the buck stops with the deputy, is not a better witness than someone who is a couple rungs below the deputy. I just want, this is what you're telling us. Because in the past, when we've asked questions, what we've gotten from people who are not the deputy is, essentially, that's not my question. I can't answer that question, or that's not my say. So you don't want the deputy minister of health in the health committee. Is that what you're saying?
MLA Smith?
What we're saying is we're trying to give the best witnesses.
MLA Di Costanzo?
We're happy to have his suggestion as well as the deputy. If there's people who can answer as well as the deputy, but we have asked, this is our topic, and we would like the deputy. If there is more that the deputy would like to bring with her, we're happy to have that.
Right. So there's...
MLA McGuire?
Both of us happy.
Yeah, so we'll split the difference here, and we'll cooperate with the government. If they feel like there's other witnesses that should be here, we'll work with them and bring the deputy minister along with the witnesses that they want for our topic.
And again, I'm not going to just for the record, what we've had in the past sometimes is we'd have a specific person asked to come, and if they're not available, we've had to kind of reschedule meetings or postpone meetings or whatever. And so just keeping that in mind in terms of sometimes having specific people versus having a bit of a broader kind of suggestion. So, MLA Maguire?
We're willing to wait. We feel that this topic, the ER closures and doctor retention, is probably the most important topic in the health right now, and it's something that falls directly on the lap of the Deputy Minister. So we are willing to wait. This was, our topic. We're looking for our witnesses, and we're willing to work with the government if they feel there's other witnesses that should be here, and that's in the spirit of cooperation.
MLA Smith?
Well, we're happy to hear that, and we're happy to cooperate, so we're okay with the witnesses on this important topic.
So
is there an addition?
Yeah, so I guess because the motion was just specifically the deputy, I'd have to have an amendment to add MLA Smith.
I move to amend the Liberal motion to include ADM Beaton and Suzanne Lee.
Any discussion on the amendment to the motion? Would all those in favor please signify by saying aye? Aye. Opposed? So the motion is carried.
The amendment's carried.
Pardon me?
The amendment's carried. You know,
Yes.
vote on the main motion.
On the main motion with that as part of it. So we do have to have a motion, or the motion on the original with those additions now. So any further discussion on the main motion? Would all those in favor signify by saying aye? Aye. And opposed? Okay, motion is carried. MLA LeBlanc.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to put forward the NDP topic as home care and community care, and the following proposed witnesses: Victorian Order of Nurses, the Regional Executive Director, the Department of Seniors and Long-Term Care, the Deputy Minister, Nova Scotia Nurses Union President, and the Canadian Union of Public Employees President, Nova Scotia.
Thank you, MLA LeBlanc. Any discussion? There's a motion on the floor. No discussion? So we have a motion for home care and community care as the topic with the witnesses written as presented. Would all those in favor signify by saying aye? Aye. All opposed? And the motion is carried. All right, so that concludes committee business, agenda setting, and the second item. Is there any other business at this time? Seeing none. So our next meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, May 9th from 1 to 3, tentatively, with witnesses to be determined based on what we have presented today. And other than that, meeting is adjourned. Thank you.